Hello, I'm Katie, and these are the news headlines today, the 12th of November 2025. The UK government may reconsider compensation for WASPI women, those born in the 1950s, who were hit by a sudden change to the state pension age. Labour's Pat McFadden says the decision to reject payouts will be retaken after old DWP research came to light. Campaigners say this is a major step forward, but there's no guarantee the outcome will change. The move could delay a High Court case brought by the WASPI Group, who argue the government committed maladministration and owe up to £10,000 per woman. Ministers insist this is not a promise of redress, and critics say it's a tactical delay ahead of the budget. The EHRC faces a High Court challenge this week over interim guidance it issued after the Supreme Court clarified that sex in the Equality Act means biological sex. The case, brought by the Good Law Project and three anonymous claimants, argues the guidance unlawfully disadvantaged transgender and intersex people, particularly around access to single-sex toilets. The EHRC says the material was not formal guidance and has since been withdrawn. Critics claim the challenge misrepresents the Supreme Court's ruling, which explicitly upheld sex-based protections while affirming that the Equality Act does not erase existing rights. The hearing runs 12th to 13th November. Labour's Health Secretary Wes Streeting has denied plotting to oust Prime Minister Keir Starmer after overnight briefings suggested he was preparing a leadership challenge. Streeting told Sky News the rumours were totally self-defeating and not true, accusing Number 10 allies of briefing against him. He ruled out any challenge after the budget or next year's local elections, but hinted at frustration over broken promises, including Rachel Reeves' expected tax rises. Streeting also mocked the anonymous briefings, saying at least they're picking on one of the boys now, and dismissed the drama as Westminster bubble process stories. The BBC faces mounting pressure over its editorial standards as Culture Secretary Lisa Nandy confirms a full review of its royal charter and funding model, while defending the broadcaster against a $1 billion lawsuit from President Trump. The controversy centers on a Panorama documentary that edited Trump's January 6 speech to imply he incited violence. Former Director General Tim Davie, who resigned this week, admitted we did make a mistake and said the fallout played a role in his departure. More than 500 complaints have been lodged, and BBC Chair Samir Shah has issued a formal apology. Nandy told Parliament the BBC remains a national institution, but said public consultation on the licence fee will begin in the coming weeks. The US House of Representatives is expected to vote today to end the longest government shutdown in American history. The deal, brokered by Senate Democrats, Republicans, and the White House, would reverse recent federal layoffs, but delays any decision on healthcare subsidies until December. President Trump has signaled he will sign the bill. The shutdown, which began on October 1st, has caused widespread disruption to public services and air travel. Over 880 flights were cancelled this morning alone, with further cuts expected as the FAA struggles with staffing shortages. Deputy UK Prime Minister David Lammy has announced urgent measures to tackle mistaken prison releases, after 91 errors were recorded in just 6 months. the government will invest £10 million in AI tools and digital upgrades to replace outdated paper systems and reduce staff burden. A new hotline will let prisons fast-track warrant checks, and a monthly Justice Performance Board will monitor progress. Lammy says the system is under intolerable strain and victims deserve better. The reforms build on Dame Lynn Owen's independent review, now expanded to include historic case analysis. A full report is due in February 2026. And in case you missed the breaking news update, according to Sky News, Epstein wrote US President knew about girls, the emails show, but White House condemns the leak as a smear. New emails have been released by House Democrats about the relationship between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. The White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt has now published a reaction to the latest file release. Quote, the Democrats selectively leaked emails to the liberal media to create a fake narrative to smear President Trump. The unnamed victim referenced in these emails is the late Virginia Griffey, who repeatedly said President Trump was not involved in any wrongdoing whatsoever and couldn't have been friendlier to her in their limited interactions. The fact remains that President Trump kicked Epstein out of his club decades ago for being a creep to his female employees. These stories are nothing more than bad faith efforts to distract from Trump's historic accomplishments, and any American with common sense sees right through this hoax and clear distraction from the government opening back down. End quote. Members of the Oversight Committee have published 3 emails this morning, and out of thousands the committee says it's reviewing from the Epstein estate. This was as of an hour ago of recording. Trump has consistently denied any wrongdoing in relation to Epstein and has previously called the allegations against him a hoax. Thank you for tuning in to today's news headlines. This is 12th of November 2025. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. It's all free and helps me to build my channel. And come follow me on Substack, Twitter, Threads, all of that stuff. I'm everywhere. And again, all free to support me. Thank you very much for joining.